What is going on YouTube? It is Primitive here, live from Indianapolis Gen Con. I'm going to be bringing you the deck list. I got second in the tournament by my good friend Isaac, who I'm rooming with, who didn't want to do the deck profile, but was nice enough to let me go ahead and get the cards so I can show this for you. So getting on into it, let's go ahead and do the Digitama. So we have the 4 Upamon. You only need 4 eggs in this deck because you're never going to get to a point where you go to your 5th egg. So playing just 4 Upamon is going to be the best egg. It gives you the most consistency and you don't have to worry about potentially getting a 5th egg that's not as valuable because you're almost never, if ever, going to go to your 5th egg. For the rookies, we have 4 Strabi. This just makes perfect sense because we have a lot of hybrids and it cycles really hard. We can get to our promo Lobos, which helps get to Ancient Garuru faster, warp, get more swings, just the main engine of the deck for searching. Then we got 3 of the Gabumon because this searches out a lot of our good cards. We have the 4 main promo War Guru, we have the Sagittarius mode, as well as Ancient Garuru itself. So this is going to be a really good searcher, along with Strabimon searching the low end, Gabumon's going to search the top end. So together you're getting a really good variety of consistency with searching. Then we have 3 Gomamon with the gain 1 memory on deletion. This is going to be for mostly because people are going to want to promote their ultimates and Digivolve for 3 and then swing over the Ancient Garuru or Sagittarius when it's out, and doing so is going to end their turn by gaining 1 memory. So it not only punishes misplays, but it also forces your opponent to make different plays because they have to consider that you're going to gain 1 memory after you delete their Digimon. Next up, we have 2 Elecmon. There's not much to say here, they're just vanilla 2-drops. We just play 2 of them to fill out our maximum rookie count, and Elecmon's better than Gomamon. Then we're playing 1 Syakomon. Isaac says you only play 1 because you'll see it when you need it in the matchups anyway, and this is really good against both Imperial and Green, so it's a good tech card here. Getting into the champions, we have 4 Sealamon. There's not much to say here, it's just a 1 to Digivolve blocker. This is the defensive backbone of pretty much all blue decks, and you almost run 3 to 4 of them in every deck. Next up, we have 4 of the promo Lobomon. This is your key card because it not only warps you up to your Ancient, but it also has the Inheritable to make it cheaper if you do decide to put this in Raising and build an ultimate on top of it. Then we're playing 2 Lobomon. You only need to play 2 in this deck because you're playing 4 Strabi, so the consistency to find the Lobomon in this deck is way higher. And not only this, but the other Lobomon. So you only need 2, and we're only playing the 4 Tamers, and most of the time you don't want to go over your Davis unless you have a second one on top. Next we have 1 Grizzlymon. This is an additional blocker, but it's a lot better versus Nidhogg and Shoutmon. So just play 1 of, but it's also a nice 2 to Digivolve blocker so that if your opponent puts you to 1, you can go ahead and just play this and choke them as well. Next up, getting into the ultimates, we're going to have 4 promo War Garuru and 2 Sagittarius mode. The War Garuru is going to be your main inheritable that you want over underneath the Ancient, so that way you can swing for 2 checks twice, essentially getting 4 checks, and if you've already taken a check, that does just threaten game with Omnimon. So this is just the pseudo level 6. There are only 4 level 6s in this deck, and the reason why is because promo War Garuru just supports this and the Ancient Garuru really well. Next we're going to have 2 Beowulfmon. This card is really good with Ancient Garuru because you can get a check with it by swinging and it can't be attacked over due to its effect, and then it can restand with Ancient Garuru's effect, just getting more swings. It's also searchable by Strabimon, making it just a more consistent card for the Strabimon. Then getting into the Megas, we do just play the 4 Ancient Garurumon. This card is absolutely insane. Not only does it have 13k DP, which swings over a lot of other level 6s in security, but it also restands other hybrids, and being able to just get multiple swings, like I said with the Beowulf, you swing, you unstand it, you get more swings, and then you put the promo Garuru underneath this to get 4 checks, and you can just go ahead and end games pretty much in 1 to 2 turns, especially with Lobomon pressure, being able to just come up off the Davis. You can pretty much set up KOs against your opponent in multiple different scenarios thanks to this card, because you can play up into it, you can play other hybrids, you can swing, you can unstand it, or you can just play it by itself by warping and get multiple swings, and then when it dies you play another hybrid, so you still keep board presence. So overall, a really amazing card. Next up, we have 2 of the Blitz Omnimon. There's not much to really say here. You put this over the Ancient Garu after you've swung twice, especially if you have the Were Garuru promo and you do 4 checks. It's just a game finisher, or if you need to, you can swing over other things like Lord Nightmon. If you saw our match versus Ancient Garuru, you saw that there was a Blitz Omnimon that swung over the Ancient Garuru, then swung over my Lord Knight, which pretty much secured the game. So this card is just really consistent and a really good game ender. Getting into the Tamers, we have 3 Davis. This is pretty self-explanatory. This is our Memory Tamer and a Searcher, so this card is really amazing. You can find your Ancient Garus more consistently, or any of the key pieces that you need earlier, like Lobomon, as well as getting Memory, which makes it so Lobomon pressure is consistently active. And then we play 1 Sorjo. The reason for playing this is because on top of the Davis memory, you can go to 5, which allows you to warp up and play Lobomon on top of the Davis or Sorjo. But threatening to get 2 extra memory every turn does make your opponent play a little bit recklessly, but if you are wanting to put this in for a 4th Davis, you can. We just go with a 3-1 split here. So now getting into the options, we are playing 4 Hammerspark. There's nothing to really say here. An overall amazing card and something that can end games if you find it in security. Next, we're playing 2 Kakaida's Breath. This card isn't the most amazing to hard play, but it does buff your security pretty hard, and this deck has some pretty gnarly security, so being able to threaten this can save a lot of games. Then we're playing 1 Absolute Blast. This is mostly for the yellow matchup because they are going to swing and play the Nightmon and Digivolve on top of this. So for 6 memory, you can essentially bounce a Mega to the bottom and just get rid of it. It's a lot of value in that matchup. As a Lord Knight player who's played against this, I can definitely say that this card is really annoying when you go on top of your regular Nightmon and you have to play around this if you know your opponent's playing it. And then to top off, we have Aqua Viper. This card does just bounce blockers, which can help a lot with your offensive game plan, but also when you warp up with Ancient Garu, you are going to die at the end of the turn, so being able to Aqua Viper your Ancient Garu back into your hand and bounce 2 of your opponent's Digimon is a really good value play, and it makes it so you have another Ancient Garu guaranteed for whenever you find another Lobo or whenever you build up in Raising. So during the tournament, Isaac played 3 Lord Nightmon, including myself, and he went 6-0 in games versus Lord Nightmon, and these are the cards they says are the most impactful versus the matchup. The Gomamon's really good in the LK matchup because Lord Knight players are going to want to go up to Ultimate and Raising and then use their TK memory to go to Lord Nightmon, putting them at 0, and then if they swing over your Beowulf or your Ancient Garu, they're going to end their turn by gaining 1 memory, and that's something that a lot of Lord Knight players are going to autopilot and go into, and they're going to get punished by it. Grizzlymon is a really good tech for the same reason why Unimon is a really good tech in the mirror, because the 6k blockers make it so that Lord Nightmon plus Pickmon doesn't clear the blocker, so that way you can still block that attack at 1k. Then Sorjo is a really good tech because you're going to be playing a lot of rookies and Nightmons for free that aren't going to have any sources underneath them, so you're going to be able to get a lot of free memory, which is going to let you put on a lot more pressure by being able to threaten more memory with warping, or as I mentioned earlier with Sorjo, you can warp and go into Lobomon in the same turn, which can cause for a lot of offensive pressure that's really hard for Lord Nightmon to overcome. And then the Absolute Blast, like I also mentioned in the deck list, is really good versus yellow because you're going to play your Nightmon and you're going to go over into a Mega. Being able to pop that to the bottom for 6 when you're probably going to be in at least 3 memory anyway and your opponent's going to be at least 3 with their TK, you pretty much don't lose any memory value by playing this, but gain a lot of board presence. Alright. With that being said, this is the list that got second at Gen Con, and it also won the first Colorado Store Championships. So thank you, Isaac, for letting me put this list on the channel. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe so you can get notified when I upload more deck list videos and battles. I also have some more Gen Con content coming up soon, so if you enjoyed, have a great day. Peace out.